this is Maybe. I just wanted to start by saying thank you so much for the continued support, for being here with me every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, sometimes Sunday, listening to my messages and just spreading the word. I know I'm just one person, but together we can make an impact. Together we can make a difference. So I really appreciate you channeling in, listening to what I have to say, and supporting me, encouraging me, uplifting me, and spreading my word to other people. I really appreciate it. And I didn't want that to go unsaid, because without you guys, I wouldn't be where I am today. So thank you so much for giving me the confidence I need to continue to do this, to show that I am making an impact in your guys' life, and show that I'm doing the right thing. God put it on my heart, so I'm here. Let's get started. This week, I wanted to talk about something a little bit more real. Yes, everything I talk about is something that I feel we need to hear. And this week, something I've been struggling with myself, and I feel like many of us struggle with, is depression, anxiety, fear, feeling overwhelmed. And these are all forms of mental health. A lot of us don't realize that we struggle with mental health issues, especially here in America. It's real. And I myself was one of those people that was always told depression's in your head and you just need to push it out, you can fix it yourself. That's not always true. Sometimes, yeah, you absolutely can fix it inside your head and by yourself. But other times, you need help from a healthcare provider, a healthcare professional. Sometimes you need spiritual help. Sometimes you just need to get outside and enjoy the fresh air. And it could be that simple. It could be as simple as getting outside, going for a walk, having a beautiful lunch, having a beautiful conversation with someone, allowing God to come into your soul and say, hey dummy, I'm right here. Sometimes we need more than that though. Sometimes we need help from a healthcare provider, and that's okay too. It's okay to go and get regulated. It's okay to go get your hormones regulated. It's okay to go get put on antidepressants because you need that extra boost, that extra help. A lot of times we don't want to accept that we need help. We want to think that we're perfect. We want to think that there's nothing wrong with us, that it's all in our head. But the reality is, people change. You can't focus so much on the past, and you can't focus so much on how you once felt when you did a certain thing and doing that same thing and expecting that same result. It's not always going to work like that. I love going on hikes. I love fishing. I love kayaking. Does that mean every single time I'm going to go it's going to be so incredible and I'm going to catch the biggest fish and I'm going to experience God touching me and just uplifting me and I'm going to feel so restored and encouraged every single time? No, that's not what it means. What it means is that's something that I feel rejuvenated doing. That's something that restores my soul. That is a way for me to encounter God. When I go out and I go fishing, I don't actually spend the whole time fishing, and I hate to give the secret away for most of the men. Sorry guys. But when we go fishing, it's more or less us time. We go fishing to be one with nature, to be one with ourselves, and for me to have that conversation with God. Yes, I love fishing. I absolutely love fishing. But I love that one-on-one feeling you get with nature. I love that one-on-one feeling you get with God's own creation. How incredible is it to think that He created this whole entire world, and He also created you. That's why I go fishing. Circling back here. Sometimes it's not that easy to fix though. When we get put in this cave, I'm going to call it, when we get put in a cave and we don't feel like ourselves, we feel down, we're not motivated, we're not encouraged, we're grumpy, we're not happy, whether it's with ourselves or anything around us, we just get put in a funk, in a fog, right? And we're just kind of existing. We're not really making a difference. We're not really feeling like we matter. We're not motivated. We just want to sleep all day. We want to get out and do stuff, but we don't have the ambition or want to do it. I want to talk about that today. I want to talk about that real, true, raw feeling. And for me, I'm currently going through a burnout phase, as I like to call it. Also seasonal depression, because it's been super gloomy lately. But I'm going through what I like to call a burnout phase. I'm not happy. I'm taking on so much in my life, career-wise, personally, spiritually, mentally. I'm not happy with myself. And that doesn't have anything to do with people that I have in my life. It doesn't have anything to do with day-to-day enjoyments that I find. It has to do with me, because I've taken on so much and I've overloaded my circuit so much that I'm so stressed out that I'm losing ambition. I have so much to do and I don't want to do any of it. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't want to make dinner. I don't want to make time to talk to God. No matter how much I sleep, I'm still tired. And I'm realizing that that's my burnout. I'm doing so much that I'm getting to this point where I just don't want to do anything. So I want to talk about this. Just because we may be experiencing a burnout, we may be experiencing depression, anxiety, fear, anxiousness, overwhelmness, doesn't mean that your faith is failing you or that God's ignoring you. It means you're human, and that's okay. I know, I like to think that I'm spiritually sound, that I have a moral compass, that I have a good relationship with God. Not perfect, no one's perfect, but I do like to think of myself as a godly woman. And I'm making changes in my day-to-day life to incorporate more time with God. I'm doing less modeling, and I'm coaching more. I'm working more on fitness to take care of my body so I can take care of my mind. I'm going to bed earlier so I can get more sleep, so I can wake up earlier, so I can have one-on-one personal encounters with God. I'm reading more books so I can expand my knowledge, so that I can learn more about how to fulfill my purpose in life, and how to give back to God, and how to glorify God. I'm learning more about things that I'm passionate about so I can expand them. I am doing all of these things to build my faith, to remain strong in my faith. But I'm still going through a burnout, and I'm still going through depression. That's okay. I'm human. We're not perfect. It's human nature to be disobedient. Okay? So it's okay to feel lost. It's okay to struggle with your self-esteem, your self-image. It's okay to have anxiety and depression and fear and just be overwhelmed. It's okay. God still loves you. You still matter. Your faith is not failing you, and God is not turning his back on you. And I want to make that very clear, okay? Sometimes when we feel like we're in this cave, there's no way out. But the reality is there's always light. There's always a way out of a cave, okay? Most of us just need to find that ambition to get up and look for it. And that's the reality of it. Sometimes you can do it on your own. Sometimes it's just a mental check and you're like, I've been lazy. I need to get up and clean my house. I need to wash my clothes. I need to take a shower. Maybe go to the gym. Maybe start eating better. Maybe I'll feel better, right? Other times it's not that easy. Other times we actually need to go to a healthcare provider and get put on antidepressant medicine, get put on an anxiety medicine, get put on a sleep aid so we can actually sleep, so we can shut down our brain and just get some sleep. Sometimes we need to go out and get extra help, and that's okay too. You can't do everything on your own, and I know, especially as a single mom, it's hard to hear that, but you can't do it on your own. It's okay to turn to others for help. That's their job. That's what they do. It's okay. Other times, you just need that relationship with God. Other times, you just need to turn to a healing spiritually, because everything else in your life feels okay, right? But nothing's going right, and you're just so mad and so upset and so angry because no matter how hard you try, you just feel like you hit one wall after another wall after another wall. But the reality is, that's just us trying to convince ourselves that even though we really want this to happen, God doesn't want us to have it. God didn't intend that to be a part of our life. We've all had a time where we said, ooh, I really see that. I really like that. I'm going to go get that. And God was like, that's bad. You don't need that. And we're like, oh, I need that. And then you get it, and you're like, oof, why did I do that? Right? We've all had that. That's what I'm telling you. Sometimes we just need to realign ourselves spiritually and say, okay, God, what am I missing here? And help me. Sometimes it's that simple. Sometimes you need help from a healthcare provider, and that's okay. And sometimes you just need rest. I know when I get in a seasonal depression kind of funk, I just need to get outside. I need to get outside and do something. I need to fulfill myself with hard work. I need to go outside, clean stalls, build a fence, paint something, ride a horse, declutter my life, because we all get in this, I don't know why, but we all get in this funk in the winter where we don't really clean. We kind of just like clutter everything up and like hide it, and we'll worry about it when the weather gets better, right? But the reality is that's when you need to declutter. When you start feeling overwhelmed and just blah, declutter. You would be so surprised, okay? I started noticing I was getting in this funk. And what I did was I took 2 whole days, deep cleaned my entire house, worked through all of my internal struggles with God while doing so. We all angry clean when we get mad. I don't know why, but we do. I deep cleaned my entire house. I decluttered. I did a dump run. I threw a bunch of stuff away that I haven't used in a year. I felt so restored afterwards, and I don't know why. I don't know how to explain it, but I did. I felt like my house was decluttered, my brain was decluttered, and now my life can be decluttered. So then I came to my office, and I felt more motivated. I was like, okay, I can go home, know my house is clean. What do I need to declutter in my work life? And then I started going through things, and I decluttered a bunch of stuff. And I just had this like new ambition and new drive, and I was like, yeah, I feel good. I can do this, right? But then my burnout started setting in because I had that oomph. I had that kick of energy. I just started going all in. And then I hit a burnout phase. And that's where I'm at right now. And so now I'm reanalyzing my life. And I'm saying, this is my top priority. This is what I'm super passionate about. This is what I love doing. Everything else, not so significant, right? So I know that this matters in my life. What can I take out down here to give myself time to rejuvenate myself and restore my relationship with myself? I can't tell you the last time I went fishing, and I love fishing. I can't tell you the last time I went kayaking, and I love kayaking. I've been so distracted lately that I haven't made time for God. I go to church Sundays. I listen to my worship music, I listen to podcasts, but I haven't felt that connection with God that I've been seeking, okay? And I started asking myself, like, I find myself a godly woman. I fancy myself a godly woman. But I don't feel that connection with God. I'm so distracted that I'm not listening. I keep remembering past encounters that I had with God where I was like, oh, I was driving that one day and just praying and God talked to me. Maybe that's what I need to do, so I'll go for a drive. And I don't get it. There was this one time I was listening to this podcast and God spoke to me through it. So I keep listening to podcasts. But I don't get anything. I've learned that we need to turn our distractions into encounters with God. And I feel like we get so distracted in day-to-day life, okay? I have been gung-ho about going to bed early so I can wake up earlier. Well, for example, I went to bed early, okay? And I put my son to bed and I took a bath and then I went to bed. And I woke up early and I was like, this is my devotional time. I am gonna talk to God right now. This is gonna happen. And my son woke up. And I was just like, oh, I just need to make time for God. Why are you awake? Go to bed, right? We all just get so upset when things don't go according to plan. At least I do. And I remember I was kind of frustrated. So I'm making coffee and I'm making him breakfast and I'm like, oh, you little turd. This is my time with God and you interrupted it. But I'm still making him breakfast. And I realized if I can't find God in the early wake-up calls with my son, making him breakfast and getting him prepared for the day, then I'm not going to find God anywhere. I need to turn that distraction into an encounter with God. So what did we do? We colored. And then we went for a walk. And he stopped. Dead in the middle of the driveway. We have a really long dirt road driveway out at the ranch. And he stops dead in the driveway and he looks over. And I kind of like look at him and I was like, you are crazy, kid. What are you staring at, right? And he looks over and he sees a cow with a baby cow. And he's like, Mom, do cows ever run out of milk? And I was like, that's a good question, actually. I don't know. He's like, the baby cow always goes to the mama cow for care. Like, I always go to you when I need something. You always go to God, huh? And I was like, not always. And that was kind of like my epiphany. I was like, there's so many times in life where I try to fix things myself and I can't. And instead of accepting that and accepting I need help, I just drive myself insane trying to fix it, when the reality is I need to turn to God. And so we got done with our walk, we got back to the house, and I said, hey bub, give me 10 minutes please, I'm gonna talk to God. And he said, yeah, you need to talk to God. And just walks out, and I was like, okay. So that distraction ended up being a beautiful encounter with God. I feel like when we get put in these ruts and when we get put in this fog in the cave, that we just get so distracted with our own feelings, with our own self-doubt. We have so many self-image issues because of this depression, because we feel like we don't fit into society if we have depression or anxiety or fear or if we're overwhelmed, and we get discouraged. When the reality is that we are beautifully and wonderfully made. God made each and every single one of us the way we are because we are destined for greatness. We all go through different walks in life. We all have a different path and a different story to tell. But we are all beautiful. You might feel like you have an unfair hand. You might feel like you've gone through so much crap in life. Why does this keep happening to me? But the reality is God is giving you that hand to benefit others. I have had a pretty rough life. But through my struggles, I've become strong. And sometimes I get in this mindset where I don't want to be strong anymore. I just want someone to take care of me. But the reality is, I wouldn't accept it even if I allowed it. Even if I was given the opportunity to have someone completely take care of me, I wouldn't accept it because that's not who I am. So yeah, life gets hard. And you're going to get put in a cave from time to time. But you need to be able to go get help. You need to be able to accept that you can't do it on your own. When my life gets overwhelmingly hard, I turn to God. Because His love never runs out. We tend to allow anxiety and depression and burnouts to rob us of our confidence, to make us feel unstable and unsteady about who we are. When the reality is, it doesn't matter who we are in society. God gave you your identity when he created you. You don't have to work for that title. You don't have to work for that clarity. You are beautifully and wonderfully made in God. You have an identity in Christ. You don't need to feel unstable about who you are. You need to be confident in who you are because God made you. There is not another you in the entire world. Even if you have a twin, they're not the exact same as you. A lot of the times I find myself praying to God for strength and for comfort and for answers, for clarity, but I also turn to Him a lot for confidence. I'm not a very confident woman. I hold my head high and I do what needs to be done. But there's a lot of areas in my life where I am not confident. And I'm sure that's a surprise to a lot of you, but it's okay. Because when I have that feeling of doubt or uncertainty, I turn to God and I say, okay, God, give me the strength. And He gives it to me. Sometimes not in the form that I wanted to receive it, but He gives it to me. And then I'm able to continue on my day. I'm able to take that restored strength, that knowledge of who I am, and continue forward. So I want to encourage you. When you feel uncertain, when you feel like you're in a funk or in a fog, get help. Sometimes it just takes seeing it in ourselves and saying, okay, I need to make a couple changes, I need to declutter my life, and then I'll feel better. Sometimes it's going to a healthcare professional and getting help, getting counseling, getting medication, whatever you need. Other times, it's going to God for a personal encounter. And that's all okay. I am here to tell you that mental health is real. That it's a real feeling, it's a real issue. Don't let it consume you and don't let it take over you. It can be corrected. It can be helped. You just need to be able to be willing to accept that you can't fix it on your own. And the reality is, almost everything in life can be fixed if you simply unplug it. 90% of the time, we just need some rest. We need some sleep. We need to rejuvenate our soul, whether that's hiking, fishing, kayaking, reading a good book, cooking a good meal, cleaning your house. Whatever restores your soul. Some good rest, restore your soul. Declutter your mind. Get that new, fresh encounter with God. And I promise you, anything that you face in life, as a good friend always tells me, God wouldn't bring you to it if He can't bring you through it. I know a lot of the times it may be overwhelming and it may be scary. You might feel alone, but you're not alone. God would not bring you to it if He can't bring you through it. You are a blessing, even though you may not feel blessed. You are a gift. You are not broken. You are loved. A lot of us may not feel that, but we are. We are a gift from God. We are so blessed. Even though we may not feel blessed, we may not see it because it didn't come to us in the way that we wanted to receive it. You might feel broken, but you're not. You are here for a reason. So don't give up. That's all I got for you today. We can do this together. So don't give up, okay? I hope you have an incredible day. And I hope you go through this week with a new, exciting, found motivation. And that you're ready to conquer this week. Because we're going to do it one step at a time. One foot in front of the other. And if you fall over and lose your step, that's okay. Because God will be there to pick you up. I love you. I hope you have an incredible day, an incredible week. Get out there and make a difference and show the world that beautiful smile that they've been missing.